What's going on, Mother Truckers? I just want to reply to this video from Jeff Warner on TikTok. He's actually extremely respectful. I don't think he's trying to be a hater to truck drivers. I think he's actually just asking a genuinely honest question about why do people truck drive. In his opinion, he feels that it's one of the worst jobs in America.
I'll make a $500,000 this year and I'll walk away with $60,000.
Why bother? Why would you want to run a business like that where you have a high barrier to entry and huge acquisition costs, crazy insurance, crazy gas? You have to have a CDL to drive it. You have to deal with all these government regulations, which are just completely asinine. Somebody that's a trucker, tell me, why are you still a trucker? I never understood. It's probably one of the worst businesses that you could get into. Transportation in general, like other than being a broker, I don't see the point of being a trucker unless it were to make a lot more money. 2022, 2023, there's hundreds of better ways to make money online with online business. There's so many things you can do to make money and work probably a fifth as much with almost no responsibility and no overhead and no barrier to entry.
And he proceeds to say that you could do an online business or something like that to make a living. The first part of this, he shows a clip from a news broadcast or something where they interview a truck driver, and that truck driver, and he asked him how much does he make. This truck driver says he makes $500,000, and then he takes home about $60,000. So I want to do my best to answer this. And again, this is my opinion, Mother Truckers. Tell me down below in the comments why you are a truck driver, and is it really the worst job in the world, or did this job change your life? Right? Comment that down below. The first part, I am never trying to be a hater to a truck driver, but that truck driver that journalist interviewed and that asked him how much he made, and he said $500,000. Now we're just gonna say, just for kicks and giggles, that he is an owner-operator, right? It is extremely difficult to make $500,000 gross a year with one semi-truck. Extremely difficult. I only know a few people that gross that. Some in the heavy haul field that, they have a niche. I have a couple friends in the moving industry, and that's a niche. There's a few. Comment that down below. How many niches in the trucking industry do you know that can actually gross $500,000 with one truck? Actually look up how much fuel a driver uses. It says anywhere between $50,000 to $70,000 a year in fuel expenses alone. So even just to say he spent $100,000 on fuel, and then just say he spent with maintenance problems, and he still owes on his truck another $100,000. That goes from $500,000 to $300,000. Then you take 30% from that, you're still going to make more than $60,000 a year. So that just tells me one thing. There is a 99.9% chance, unless he is one of those haulers that we're talking about, that one is just really lying about how much he's making, or two, I would say he's saying that for Uncle Sam if he was making that type of money, or I guess the third, right? Really bad money management. So I know that's long-winded, but overall, dude's probably a liar. The second part I want to bring up is a lot of people in the trucking industry are in this industry because it's a lifestyle. You cannot put a number on that. And there are company drivers that work for big companies like Walmart that are making over $120,000 a year, with benefits, So there are jobs out there that pay really well, And when you say that, why not do some type of online business? Well, before we get into that, you know that any online business you do would probably have to do something with shipping, and guess how the shipping and the product would get there? By truck. So it's something that's extremely necessary. You know, I think the biggest one of all that I would say is, if you have to feed your family today, right? You have to feed your daughter, your son, yourself, your wife today. Telling someone to start a website or online business, you know, that takes a skill set and that takes time. It's going to be very difficult to feed your family today. And so I think one thing that trucking does is it's a realistic way for people to make more money than they're already making. They could go out, get a CDL, find a job, and start working and making some money. You know, and I think, of course, it's up to you what's good money or bad. But to say that it's the worst job in America, you know, that's very hard to say, because there's a lot of jobs out there that pay minimum wage, that you have a boss that you hate. And if you drive for, actually, if you have a boss that you hate, you work a 9 to 5, and then you go and drive a truck OTR, even though we deal with a lot of regulations, it's still less than what you deal with a 9 to 5 for the most part. I would say this, it's very difficult to be a truck driver more than 3 years and then try to go back and be a 9 to 5er. Very difficult. Mother truckers, comment down below, what are your thoughts about this? But, you know, overall, I think the example that he used, that driver is probably lying out of his teeth. And second to that, there are good jobs. You just got to find the right jobs. It's not an easy time right now, but you know, if you're making $500,000, you should be bringing in more than $60,000. And I think it's a realistic way of making money. I know I'm all over the place in this video, but you know, I'm just talking to you guys. Mother truckers, comment down below.